and red hook tie, bow tie in that block. It was his.
And what color?
Blue and red.
Well, I was gonna do like.
But he had some of the loudest, awful colors you've ever seen in life. His color.
Yeah.
Jane and see, point out, no, she just shakes her head.
Just to see what you said, that'd be good.
Much stuff, it's like.
That's all. That was August 20. Yeah.
Are we ready?
That was fast.
Call to order the September 11th Town Sylva Board of Commissioners meeting. I'd like to welcome everyone. The first thing is to approve the agenda, and I would entertain a motion that we make a change to the agenda. Paige Christie with the community table was on the agenda to speak, and she will not be able to be here due to not feeling well. So I have a subject that I would like for us to discuss as a board about the community supply boxes down here at the community table. And I'd like to replace that subject with that line item if that's appropriate. So moved. Right, so we'll have a motion. Do we have any discussion?
The agenda, the item that we're adding is a discussion only item.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So, everybody good with that? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign, the motion carries. The agenda is approved. That also entertain a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
That was a motion to add an item. I need a motion to approve it as amended.
Okay, all right. So I entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make that motion.
I would have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign, the motion carries. Now I entertain a motion that we approve the consent agenda. We have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign, the motion carries. And do we have anyone signed up for public comment? I want signed up to speak. Okay. I don't particularly have anything grand to report today. So I'll move the reports on to Miss Mary.
So we're responsible for the bucket trucks in downtown Sylva this week. I think we are. But they're doing some really great shrubbery and tree cleaning and it looks really good out there. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Good. No report today. All right.
Yeah, a couple things. One, wanted to just tip my hat to the fire department for a job well done out on Ashland the other day. There was a big fire, pretty tough fire to handle. And they were able to coordinate several different departments from other places. So nice job to Chief Beck and the crew. And thank you to the crews that helped with that. I was out at the stadium, the high school stadium, and there were a lot of people out there for football, not in a lot of cars, traffic, and the fire department came and did a lot there. Appreciate that good work. Also just wanted to mention, I think it's all heavy on our hearts about Charlie Kirk getting shot and killed yesterday. And I know that has nothing to do with Sylva, but I think, it's worth just mentioning, I was a man who stood for open and civil dialogue and debate. And I think, our society needs to follow that example and not of violence. There's been a lot of violence lately in the news and, the Charlotte train stabbing and things like that. I think, just to say our thoughts and prayers with the Kirk family and that young lady's family, and violence has no place in this town or in this country. So just feel like that's worth mentioning. That's all.
All right. And I will add one comment that hats off to Jake Scott and our maintenance crew and his selection for the person that was doing the painting, but I've had a lot of real nice comments about painting the mast arms to match our new street lights, and I think it really looks better. So Jake does an outstanding job for our little town, and he should be bragged on every chance we get. Well, that covers our commissioners' reports, and that moves us on to our manager's report.
Good evening. I spoke to Dr. Cooper's state and local government class a couple of weeks ago. So some members of the class are here tonight to observe the meeting for a class project. So I'd like to welcome them and point out that one is Lynn's daughter, Haven. Thank you all for coming. The Bryson Park ribbon cutting will be after our next meeting. So September the 25th is scheduled for 11 a.m. So we're getting excited about finishing that project and having it open for about the first time in 4.5 years. The town received 3 proposals for the Scotts Creek slope stabilization project back here. Jake and I have both scored the proposal, and we're meeting with the top scoring company. So we'll hopefully have an engineering contract to approve later in September. We also met with Odell Thompson this week to review a concept for the restroom remodel at Poteet Park. The concept will be drawn with 4 unisex stalls like at the depot restroom, except the doors will face the picnic area and have a maintenance chase behind the stalls, so between the stalls and the playground. This will keep plumbing on an interior wall that will hopefully help with freezing issues that we've had. So they would be single entry walls instead of partitions like we currently have. We hope to have that project underway after the Pottery Festival mid-November and anticipate it taking between 4 and 6 weeks to complete. So Poteet Park will be closed during the restaurant remodel. So we've stopped taking reservations past the Pottery Festival. We still have a maintenance technician open in Public Works. And the floodplain meeting for the county is going to be September the 29th at the Department on Aging at 5:30. So hopefully you all can make that. Tax bills were mailed the end of last week and payments are starting to come in. I attended a HR class last week and also a legislative update. So thank you for the opportunity for continuing education. Administrative staff will be busy with our audit field work September the 22nd and 23rd. And the Essentials of Municipal Government course is going to be January 15th to 16th in Asheville. Please put that on your calendar because the entire board will attend together and complete the required ethics training. So this training happens every 2 years. So please make arrangements to attend. And I'll register everyone when the registration window opens. I just want to make sure that you have January 15th and 16th on your calendars. Any questions?
Poteet Park bathroom renovation, are any plans for the exterior of the building at all? Or is it just?
We're asking for an alternate for hardy board to cover it, similar to what we've done at Bryson Park. So hopefully if we can afford that, that'll happen. But there is some termite damage that's evident on 2 of the sides. So it'd be better if we could make that happen.
It's kind of a draft, I almost said draft, darker color now, right? Isn't it? So
It's a dark brown.
and it would, yeah, in my mind, it can use a little light down there. It's certainly not an area of specialty for me, but lighten it up, freshen it up a little bit might be fine.
Yeah, there's also some rundown fencing and fencing that's been destroyed at the gate, breaking into the park after dark and using the railings for a skateboard ramp. And there's all kinds of issues that are need to be corrected while we're at it if we have to.
We're going to start the fence as soon as we can. We've got a contractor that's got that work.
Yeah.
So that'll happen prior to the renovation.
I noticed the sidewalk going out there stands in water and it's a mud hole around both sides of it now where people have been dodging walking through the water. So we need to try to correct that too. Okay, is that it?
That's for the interior of the bath. So the bathrooms, we're doing the 4 separate bathrooms. So is that the final plans that's been established? I'm wondering about the cost. The cost of that, is that a lot more than just doing like what we have where you have stalls? And I mean, how much more is that?
It would be more, there's some slab work involved, but I think we would see less vandalism that way and less pipe freezing. So with the layout we have now, we know what the problems are. So we're trying to get a layout that will get past that.
And from what I've understood from discussions about the changes that they're making are changes to hopefully correct the problems that have been addressed so far, like freezing water and anytime you get those little private stalls here in yonder, they're either gonna break them, tear them down, ride them like a cowboy or mark on them somehow or another. So,
It will cost more, but we hope that it's still within the project budget we've adopted.
anyway, okay, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so that moves us on to business. And first item in new business is the discussion about this box down here. And, called it kind of Sylva support box. Of course, there was a meeting here not long ago where some citizens came in and made speeches and bragged on it and gave little handouts and all kinds of things and how wonderful it is. And it is a wonderful site. You should all go down there and see it for yourself. Listen, I just interviewed, just went through it and took an inventory of everything in it that's edible. We found cream of wheat that went dead in April, and it was the only granule of food in it. Rest of it's garbage that's been thrown in it. The other side is the place where the homeless come to change clothes, and they throw in what they've wore since the last time they changed clothes. So that's what's there. Don't think anybody here would even wash their car with what's in it. It's not being maintained very well. The volunteers are not keeping it full of anything edible, drinkable, or usable. And we're finding condoms, we're finding needles. I showed all those things to Blitz just a few minutes ago. We're drawing the drug deals in that box to the mothers and the little kids at Poteet Park. I think we're drawing two crowds of people together that should probably never meet. My proposal is not to do away with it, have an uprising from the community. But I think we need to either as a board, choose a spot or give staff permission to choose a better spot for the thing.
Can you remind us why it got moved from the Bridge Park parking lot there?
Because 3 people OD'd behind it where it was at Bridge Park. And they thought they'd put it in a place that was more visible. So we've got it in a place more visible, and I go for a walk every evening. A month ago, there was a little mother that knew me. I can't remember her name, but she'd let her 7-year-old son out of the car, and she was getting her little daughter out of the car seat when the little boy goes over to that box, picks up a needle and brings it to his mama to ask her what it is. And she was mad. And here I am trying to answer for why we're allowing such as that at the little kids' park in town Sylva.
I've heard a couple, from a couple concerned citizens who, made a couple points to me that, they felt like it wasn't being maintained or stocked well. And another complaint was that the community table folks do not like it.
They don't want to carry.
They don't like it. They don't feel like it's serving the purpose for what you put there.
And if you notice, the lady we took off of the agenda.
I'm not talking to the community table, I'm talking about her.
Well, Luther Jones has talked to them and Luther's friends with them, and they're really proud of what they do there. And that thing seems to be a hindrance and somewhat of a bother to them as well, according to Luther. And he thinks it should be moved as well. But this lady was supposed to discuss tonight with us possibly finding a better location for it.
Who did we approve that, the board here, or was that?
Well, I asked Paige earlier if we could just move it. She said she needed board approval to move it because there was board approval to move it to where it's at, even though I don't remember us doing that.
Well,
Um,
Eli approached us to build it
Yeah.
and we gave permission. And I think she was overseeing it at that time.
Who was?
Eli?
Sure, I know Eli.
Is she, or is she that's her nickname?
Yes.
Was she with the community table? Was she
No.
just as volunteers?
And
She's with everything.
yeah,
She's
she's
involved
incredible.
with somebody,
community,
yeah.
Does so much and
Right.
maybe, I mean, at that time, it's art, maybe it needs to fall under somebody else's.
You know, even if we just put that thing on the other side of the swimming pool over here, I think on that side of the building, we have cameras. City Hall. So, might be a hindrance to not do illegal things there, and maybe it would give the volunteers more of a reason to try to restock it with something that's actually edible instead of the only thing being in it that is expired. And I don't want to give it an unfair review of just because that's what Blitz and I just found walking up here to the board meeting. I went to it about 10 or 12 times. I've never found anything in it that wasn't expired. And I've never found much in it. 2 weeks ago, I looked in it and there was 3 bags of cornmeal in it. I opened one of them and it was full of weevils and I could see it crawling. If that's what they're trying to feed people that they say they're trying to help, that's not much help.
Well, I don't think anybody's putting cornmeal in there that's pre-weebled. I mean.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Once it's gone bad, it probably went bad.
I'm
My question would be, where would we want a support box for people where some of the issues that are being raised, needles or drug deals, which should be reported as police, so should needles.
gonna have been.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Where would you want that?
That's what I wanted to open for discussion. I'm not proposing we do away with it. I'm proposing it be managed better, and I'm proposing it be put somewhere besides where the little kids and children are at the entrance to Popeek Park.
I'm feeling like maybe a board member should own it, you know, like how we are on other committees. But one board member should be kind of overseeing it. And if that means having volunteers that help to stock it or to check on it periodically, but definitely more visibility.
Yeah,
Better
Yeah.
cameras.
yeah.
Yeah, we could have cameras now, couldn't we? Got cameras in the park?
We've got cameras on the back of this building, moving to the other side of the swim.
I'm talking about where it is now.
There's no cameras there.
Is it freestanding or is it built into the ground?
It's freestanding. It can be picked up with a forklift and moved in about 32 seconds.
Clarification, the board gave permission for the support stop in 2021. And then when we started the Bridge Park project, the board decided to move the support shed and the garden club shed, which they'd also given permission for, to the other side at the community table where it was put on grass and not in a lot.
So
And Paige Christie has requested to be on the next agenda to give her community table updates.
So I just like to see us have an open discussion about, is there a more appropriate place to put it? Do we want to just say we give staff permission to find a better place to put it? Place that's more secure, place that they're not going to be doing drugs in it, you know, it's got more visibility, but maybe not being that visibility being the single mother's trying to manage 2 children in a parking lot to get into the only little kids park we've got.
So this is discussion only.
Yeah.
And this is gonna
Yeah.
come back up probably when Paige is here.
Well, if there's some kind of grand solution
Yeah.
proposed, we can add that to the next agenda so that it's public. And people have forewarning to come in here and tell us how wonderful it is again, just like they did 2 weeks ago. When Blitz and I just reviewed the thing. And during the week that went dead in April, and 1 box that's been opened and 2 of the packs in it tore open, I don't believe anybody's taking that home.
I think until we decide what to do with it, I think it'd be good to contact the people who are supposedly, overseeing it. to
There's 2 or
clean it
3
up.
volunteers that are supposedly taking things and putting in it. And I've had 1 or 2 of those people call me all through the years, mostly to complain about the fact that it leaked and the things they were putting in there are getting wet. And wanting the town to do more and more and more when I don't think it's the town's place to do it. If volunteers want to do something and volunteers want to do it, then let them supply the place to put the thing. Let them supervise it. I don't know that it's the taxpayers or the board members' responsibility to babysit that.
It seems like some of the issues that are being pointed out are being attributed to a box that I personally would not attribute to a box.
Oh, I understand.
I mean, it's a place for people to put things that help people. If that's not happening, which is not, it doesn't sound like today it is, but that's not what I'm hearing consistently when I talk to people about it either, is that this state of emptiness is not the norm. But that's the observation of some of the volunteers that that I've spoken with. But I don't think that, you know, crime being present around a box is the fault of a box. That box also serves positive purposes, which at least in intent, it does. That's very clear. The intent of the box is to provide things for people who need them. If that's not happening, it would seem to me there might be something better to do besides moving it, because just moving it doesn't change anything about the problems. I mean, it's still going to be a box where someone could conceivably open it up and put things that you didn't want, or walk by it and do things you don't like. That seems like things are being attributed to a box that I wouldn't attribute to a box.
So we're not gonna get it monitored to try to catch the drugs and catch the stuff going on. I can't even manage to get the park locked up at dark. I've been trying that for 2 years. You know, if these people want to do something to help people, that's fine. And we can have wonderful conversations with all kinds of generous, wonderful people that'll come in here and make speeches and hand out bulletins. But I've been to the thing probably 75 times in the past year. I've never found anything in it edible. I've never found a piece of clothing I'd even wash my car.
Well, that would seem, if that's the case, it's not serving the purpose that it's intended for.
And I'm not basing what I'm telling about anything that any other body has come to me, said to me, reported to me, or anything else. I'm talking about me personally going and looking at the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2-minute walk for me. And I don't really think it belongs in a residential area at all.
That camera out here being monitored.
I don't know. Are our cameras around City Hall being monitored at all, Paige?
Yes.
And are they recordable so that you could go back if something's being done nefarious? Whatever,
I don't know the recording.
They're being recorded. There's an extra camera at the skate park.
They're being recorded and we can go back and watch it.
Oh, hey, chief.
some.
That's not, the one at the skate park's not really being used for anything?
No.
I mean, it's not a skate park.
This building.
I never, I did, let me take that back.
Yeah.
They've repurposed.
Skate park shitters.
Yes.
Brad, they've repurposed that camera in another place. It's-
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
I want the thing gone from where it's at. That's plain and simple as I know how to do it. If it's disposed of, done away with, thrown away, moved and managed better, something, but I don't want it where it's at. So I guess I'd say that it'd be a proposal for me to add it to our agenda for our next meeting, to make some fashion of a decision, whether if it's nothing more than to authorize staff to find a better place.
I think that staff moved it to that location from Bridge Park. So we're open to suggestions of other locations.
So we've beat that horse enough tonight. We'll put it on the agenda and hopefully maybe have something positive to add for a better location.
It might be nice to hear from Paige next meeting on her perspective too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be fine with me. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Resolution to support grant funding application, TDA. I think Paige has some explanation for that.
Yes, so the town is applying to the Tourism Development Authority for $341,323 grant to help implement the Pinnacle Park Master Plan that the board adopted in April. This resolution supports the town's grant application to the TDA for funding from the master plan for elements, including a vault toilet, paving and stormwater improvements at the Pinnacle Park parking lot, trail improvements, campsite improvements, and constructing a viewing platform. So the TDA partnered with the town and the county in 2022 to fund the Pinnacle Park Master Plan. And the TDA reviews grant applications quarterly. And then their recommendation goes to the county for approval. So hopefully we would get the full $341,323 funded. If not, we look for alternatives. But this resolution supports the town submitting the grant application to the TDA and agrees to accept the funds if it's awarded, and that we would use them for those elements of the master plan.
So I didn't think a motion that we approve, staff to apply for that grant. We have a motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All opposed, like sign, the motion carries. Last thing on our agenda is a special event street closure resolution being amended. And I understand we're changing the timing a little bit on the Western Carolina homecoming.
Ground information for our public tonight. Inside city limits, roads are state maintained, town maintained, or private drives. And streets like Main Street or Mill Street, where we typically have events, or where we would need a road closure or a detour, the town has to make a request to NCDOT to close the road 60 to 90 days before an event. So the town makes this request by adopting the resolution. And by doing that, the town's accepting responsibility for safety, the detour, traffic flow during the event, traffic control, and signage during the event detour. So during our last meeting, the town board approved a resolution for Western's homecoming parade and for the street closure. So Western wants to move up the start time of the homecoming parade to 5:30. The initial request was for 6 o'clock. But with the time change and when it gets darker that time of the year, Western wants to start the parade 30 minutes earlier for safety reasons. So the board needs to adopt this amended resolution so that it can be submitted to NCDOT.
I entertain a motion that we approve that.
Just 30-minute change, I'm sorry,
Yes.
that's, okay, yeah.
Don't make a motion.
So we have a motion. We have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign. And unless there's something I'm unaware of, I'll turn this meeting over to Fred Walter.
I'll motion that we adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All opposed by like sign. We stand adjourned. Good morning.